afternoon. Welcome to today's training webinar. My name is Karen, and I'll be walking you through the product setup process today. Today's webinar topic is geared towards site administrators, really, but may be informative for anyone who's interested in the product setup process as a whole, kind of seeing the back end, how to set up the product, link it to your schedule, etc. We're going to walk through a couple of different examples on setting up products, whether it's a print, a digital, and then we're going to do another example of an event. Okay. Now, as far as today goes on the webinar, all participants are in listen-only mode, but remember, you can use your questions window to ask any questions that you may have, and they'll be answered real time. These questions will also be documented and made available for you in the help site, which is what I'm going to touch on right now. As you can see on my screen here, our help site in the upper right corner contains a hyperlink for webinars. This area will give you access to any previous webinars that we've held, a recording video of the webinar, and then also the Q&A document here. So any questions that are asked during the call via the questions chat window will be answered, documented, and placed here in a document for you that you can print out or review on your own. So if you're not able to make any of these training webinars, remember to come here and see the previous recordings. You can also sign up here for any upcoming webinars. Once they're listed here, you'll have a hyperlink, so go ahead and sign up for the next one. So remember to use your help site for attending the webinars. Okay. Also, the help site, I'm going to jump back in there for a second, is the best way to contact your software consultant. We have a Contact Us link here, which leads you directly to another hyperlink that can get you to a software consultant's calendar. You can book a session on there for any Q&A that you may want to have with them. After today's call, you may have specific questions regarding your own business product setup that you may want to schedule a quick call with your consultant. So that can be done using the Contact Us link in your help here. Okay. All right. So to get started, we're going to start off with a setting up a print product from start to finish. Okay. Now, the first option, we're going to go to the management dropdown in our site setup, the website setup area. Again, this is accessible by those with administrative access. We're going to come down to the ad sales management portion of the website setup. Now, the first thing we're going to do in setting up your product is actually create a publication schedule. Now, this first product we're going to set up is going to be a print magazine. Okay, so this is a test site that I'm using here, so we have some existing products, but we're going to go ahead and walk through a new set of products. So I'm going to come to the bottom and click the New Schedule link. In this window, I'm going to be defining my new product schedule. Okay, so I'm going to call this one ABC Magazine. Okay. This is a print product. Below, I'm going to indicate when do I want this publication schedule to start. Okay, this is a new product that we're just going to start with. Maybe our October issue is on the 1st. So I'm going to say October 1. I want to start the schedule. Below there, we're going to schedule, put our schedule frequency. We have our options on the left. Is it a daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly option? For this particular print product, we're going to make it a monthly release. To the right of that, you have some additional options here. Is it every 1 month? Is it a bi-monthly? You can change that to 2. Is it a quarterly? You can change that to 3 or 4 here to make any additional monthly options. Then below that, you can either say which day of the month is this getting released, or is it the first Monday of every month, or the second Thursday, however you want to identify that as well. Okay, so we're going to leave it as a monthly schedule each month, and then on the 1st. Your final selection option on the bottom is how long do you want to set this schedule. You have 2 options here, so it's an either or. So I want to end it after 12 occurrences on a monthly schedule. Obviously, that's going to be a year out. Or I can use this radio button and then select a date. If I want to schedule it, for 3 years. If I do my sales 3 years out into the future, I can use this radio button and pick a date from the calendar. Okay, I'm going to leave this at 12 occurrences. Then I'm going to save this schedule. Now you'll see here my ABC Magazine schedule is saved in my production schedule. Before I can make any changes to this schedule, I do have to link my product. So straight from here, you can click a hyperlink that tells you assign or add your product to view the issues. Okay, so I'm going to click this hyperlink. It's going to bring me to my product setup. Okay, in here I have already defined any previously set up products, both digital and print, and you can expand this by clicking the plus to see the additional products that are there. So we're going to set up a new product. On the bottom here, I have my Add Product button. In the upper left, I have my drop-down to identify whether this is a print or digital product that I'm setting up. I select Print. I create my product name, ABC Magazine. And now I'm going to link it to that schedule that I just set up. So my ABC Magazine schedule, which is right here. So now I'm linking it to that schedule that I already set up here. Okay, now this is the only time, as you'll look at the little message here, this is the only time you can link that schedule. So if you come into products first and you don't have your schedule set up, you won't be able to link it. So remember to do your schedule first. Over to the right, we have some additional options here that you can fill out. Schedules can be made, products can be made inactive if you no longer use them. So we have an active and inactive button. You can also collect your circulation numbers, your average page rate, and your national equivalency per page. Okay, so we're going to save this, and now we're going to go back to our website setup by clicking on the bottom. I'm going to expand this and just show you now that ABC Magazine product that I just created linked to the schedule. Now when I go back to website setup and back into my publication schedules, you'll notice that I can now click into the View Issues to see my schedule setup. So starting October 1 and then going out for 1 year. Okay, now each one of these line items in your publication schedule can be edited by clicking on the edit icon over to the left of the issue. It's going to open up that screen in edit mode and give you the ability to make any changes. Maybe if you call the issue something different, if you want to add any of these additional fields and capture that information, it's optional. You can fill these in. They can be pulled into Flex Reports if it's something that you want to track. Volume, things like that, the print quantity, etc. So you can come in at this point and make any updates or edits to your issue. Okay, now that we have our product linked to our schedule, the next thing we want to do is link it to a pricing structure or a rate card. So I'm going to come back here to my website setup, log into my rate cards hyperlink, and we'll notice it shows you by default all active digital and print rate cards that you currently have. I'm going to come down to the bottom and do a new rate card to link to this new product that I have. This particular one is going to be a print rate card, so I select my print. Okay. The first screen, we have our name field. Now you're going to want to name this so it's specific to your product and easily identifiable when someone's entering in an order. They can quickly pick the rate card that's applicable. So this is my ABC print, for 2013. Okay. You can put any notes here if you wanted to identify, what are these rates based on January 1 through December 31, 2013. You can do that. This one actually was the October release. I'm going to say October 1 through September 31. So we know what's included in this pricing. Again, rate cards can either be made active or inactive as well. To the right of this information, we have some additional information regarding your agency discount option here. You can select whether you're going to gross up or net, show the net, and then your standard 15 you can change here as well for agency discount. Below there you have an option to include a date range. Okay? For this particular print rate card, we're not going to include a date range. When we go over the digital product, we will show that option. And then we have our 3 different types of rate card that you can select. We have a flat rate that we're going to choose for today. We also have CPM, cost per thousand, and a quantity-based card. We will do examples today of all 3 of these rate cards. So now I've set up this first tab here. I have my second tab for products. I'm going to link it to the product that I just set up on a schedule. So my ABC magazine is now linked to my ABC Print 2013 rate card. I'm going to come down to the bottom and save those details. Now you notice once I hit save on the details, I have several additional tabs here. This is where you're going to continue to define your rate card. Okay, so I'm going to continue down using the tabs available and define out my rate card. For ad sizes, I'm going to go ahead and drag over from the left to the right any ad sizes that I want to make available for this particular rate card. So my half page horizontal, my quarter page horizontal, and I'm going to use my full page. I'll use this third 3/4 page. Now what you'll notice here on the left-hand side is all of your ad sizes from your master list in Magazine Manager. Now if you did need to make any changes to this at this point when you're in a rate card setup, you do have an Edit List button here that'll open that window and allow you to create a new size right from here and add it to the rate card if needed. Okay. It's refreshing because I did open a window and then close it. So a refresh just to make sure we're on the same page here. So now I've dragged over to my right-hand side any ad size selections that I want to define for this rate card. There is a Select All button if you wanted to pick everything. We're going to continue down the different tabs. We have Add Colors. For this particular, we're just going to use a 4-color. Your frequency discount. You have your options here. For my print, I'm going to have a 1-time and maybe a 3 times frequency. My Premium Position tab. This is anything that we charge extra for, whether it's a front cover, back cover. Drag those over to the right. Special sections. What special sections are we going to make available for this print product? Is there a classified section that you want to identify? Is there a Top Doctor section? Just drag those over. And your last tab here is for any predefined adjustments. If your site has been set up to allow predefined adjustments, they'll be available here for you on the left. Again, you can just drag that over and make it available on the rate card. Okay, so now I've filled out all of my tabs and made all of my selections for this rate card. I want to come down to the bottom and save those details. Gives you a little prompt that your details have been saved. Now the final thing we want to do here that we've set up our specifics is we want to set the pricing. So on the bottom you have a Set Rates button. This is going to open a window that gives you the ad sizes going down the left-hand axis. And then moving across, you have your frequency discount pricing field. Okay, so this is for 4-color only. If I did have black and white, it'd be in a different section, so you can put the different pricing if necessary. Then you simply tab into the column and type in your pricing. So my 1 times rate is 500. My 3 times rate is 300. They get a little discount for that. For my quarter page, we're going to have 200 here and 100 here. My 3/4 page, 150. I'm just using low numbers here. My full is going to be 1,000 and 800. Now this Premium Position field is anything additional that's added onto the rate for that back cover charge. So you don't put the total amount here, you put whatever's added. Okay, so for a full page back cover, it's 1,000 plus another 500. So you put the 500 here in each of these. Maybe front covers a little bit more, so let's do 800. Okay, so once you've added all your pricing, and anytime you make a change, you see this little red arrow in the upper left corner. That indicates that you still have to save it. So make sure not to ever close the window if you see these red arrows. That means you still have to save your rates. So I'm going to go ahead and save those rates. And now I have my product linked to my schedule, linked to my pricing. Okay, so I'm going to click here, back to list of rate cards, which will now show me my ABC print card in my print options here. Okay, I'm going to go back to website setup, and we're going to walk through setting up a digital product. Okay? Now, digital products can either be set up on a schedule or not on a schedule. If you don't want to put them on a schedule, you can leave it off a schedule and just use date ranges, and that's how we're going to do the example today. So instead of going straight to the publication schedule, I can start off here and creating the product itself. From the bottom left, I'm going to select Add Product. The drop-down, I'm going to select Digital and create my ABC Online. Remember, we can choose to not link this to a publication schedule. I'm going to say no issues here, and then I'm going to save it. Okay. Now, because we don't have this on a schedule, go back to website setup. We're going to go right into our rate cards and link it to a rate card. In our digital options, we don't currently have our pricing for our ABC Online. So we'll come down, new rate card, and it's going to be a digital. Basically the same options we just went through. We're going to go ahead and name it ABC Online 2013. We're going to link it to our product, ABC Online. Our digital products will be available here. Now we're going to save those details to get our additional tabs. And again, the process is the same. We're going to do position. What digital web ad positions are we going to make available here? We want a banner. We want a leaderboard. Okay, you're going to have all your options here. If you need to add anything additional, remember you click Edit List, and you can add your ad sizes here for your position. Section can be used to identify in your web ads, is something that's going on the top of the page. These are optional as well. You certainly don't have to fill it out. Your frequencies here for this particular one, we're going to do a cost per thousand. So you want to say 1 to 1,000, and then 1,001 through 2,000 or 20,000, and then just pull those over to identify those frequency options. Your add-on is similar to the premium position in print. So this is something that you're maybe charging extra for. So do you charge extra, for them to get the top banner? Okay, so you pull that over and say, this is where, we're going to charge them an extra $50 to get that top web ad. Additional options here, kind of like the special sections, just to identify this is premium page placement, or this is, going in a particular section. You can use that. Again, you have your adjustments, if any adjustments are being used on this digital rate card. Okay. Once you've defined all your configuration here, just save the details, go to your set rates. You'll have the same layout for your price matrix. How much is your banner? Remember, this is cost per thousand. And your leaderboard. And then your top banner, if there's any additional pricing here. You can leave these fields open as well. It will prompt the user to enter a price. If you don't put a price here and leave it open and they can negotiate with that, you can leave these pricing fields open. Okay. So I'm going to save my rates. I'm going to save my details of my rate card. So now I have my print product from start to finish. I have my digital product set up and linked to my rate card. I'm going to go back to my website setup. Just to jump into this product area, I want to expand these and just show you here my ABC Online digital product. When I click into it, you'll see that it has been linked here to my rate card. Now, if I associate this particular product with more than one rate card, you can use this first in list option to identify which rate card is the most widely used and which one you want to be the default or the first one in the option when selection. Okay. Same with our print product. You'll see it's linked to our schedule. It's linked to our rate card. So basically, full circle, we've set up a schedule, a product, a rate card with pricing. Okay, close this. I go back to website setup, and now we're going to generate a product for a trade show event, booth sale, let's say. So I'm going to make this a print product that's on a schedule. It's a yearly event that we have. So I'm going to come into a publication schedule. I'm going to say new schedule. I'm going to name this my ABC annual event show. The first event we have for 2013 is a Halloween event. Let's say it's on October 31st. In our section below, we're going to say this is a yearly schedule that I want to generate every year. And this particular one we have for October 31st. Okay. Now, I know this is the only event that I need to schedule right now. Maybe I don't know the 2014 event date yet. So I just want to do this one particular issue. So I just say I want to do one occurrence and save it. So here's my ABC annual show. Now I have to link my product. Click on the hyperlink. Add product. We're going to make it a print product. We're going to call this our ABC. Let's see. Trade show. Okay. Now we're going to link it to our show schedule that we have here. Again, very similar. And save it. Back to our website setup, and we're going to go and create the rate card pricing for that particular show. Now let's jump back into the schedule and see that. So we have our trade show here. We click on View Issues. We see our one issue. Now maybe the issue name isn't just the year. So you can come in here and make a change to this show. You can call it the individual show name. Again, edit any details here as needed. If at some point I did know of the next year's show, I can go ahead and add that by clicking Add Issues. It brings you back to the screen here. You can say, when is my next year's show? Maybe next year in 2014, it's going to be a summer show, July 1st. So I'm going to say it's a yearly, my July 1st, and I'm just going to add one more. Save it. There it is. I can change the name of that and call it my summer show. Okay, so now I have two issues linked to my event. Okay, so I'll come out of there. I want to go back to my website setup, and we're going to set up a rate card for that event. New rate card. It's going to be a print card. Label it here. We're going to call it our ABC. Go ahead and link it to that product that we just set up here. Save the details. And again, we're just going through different scenarios of how the products can be set up, differently based on your needs. Okay, so now we're going to go to the ad sizes. So for this particular trade show, whatever you want to offer to sell would need to be set up as an ad size here. Okay, so we have two different size exhibit booths that we're going to offer. We have our 10 by 10, drag that over, and our 10 by 20. And again, as you see here, there's, you could have several different options. I think there's a couple things here that people use different packages, gold package, silver package, and just use those as your ad sizes specifically. Your colors wouldn't apply. You can drag over your NA. Your frequency here, is it a one-time or any other frequencies that you want to drag? If you just need one series of pricing, you can use the one time or the 1 year, however you want to define it. Again, these are set up by you. Anything premium that you want to offer as well can be added in the premium position area. Do you charge extra to give them a trade show booth, right up front? Maybe you charge an extra $50 to rent that space. you can drag that over and use that as a premium. Special section, again, if you want to identify something here, they're in the leadership section of the trade show and your adjustments. Okay. So now I'm going to save this information and then set my pricing. So I'll have my different ad sizes here, and I'll have my pricing here. And this one, and then this is an extra 500. Okay, I'm going to save those rates. Okay, back to my list of rate cards. Now, while I'm here in the rate card area, I do want to show you one other function that we can do here. If I've gotten my rates for next year, we do have the ability to copy a rate card, and I'm just going to walk you through that process. I'm going to go into my print 2013 in the edit button. And you'll notice on the bottom, using our buttons, you do have a copy rate card function. So I'm going to click that. A dialog window opens up and allows you to rename or change the name here based on what you want to call the next one. So I'm going to say 2014. So these are my newer rates. I'm going to say copy the rate card. Now creating a new rate card based on the exact 2013 pricing. So it's basically a mirror copy of that pricing. Now what I can do from here is make any changes on the options that we've already discussed, or I can come into my set rates and make changes to the pricing, either individually, or I can update all rates by a certain percentage. So maybe next year we're going to raise our prices by 25%. Update all rates gives you a little pop-up saying that the values have been updated. OK is going to save these pricing, and you'll see that the rates have now generated that 25% increase. Okay. There is a print button as well here if you need to have a recorded copy of these pricing. Okay, so that was just quickly a way for you to grab an existing rate card, make a copy of it, so you don't have to manually set it up again. You can make an exact copy of it and then tweak that copy based on any changes that you need to make to that rate card. Okay. Now what I want to do, now that we have our print product set up, our digital product set up, and our event product set up, I'm going to go ahead and walk through and generate an order to show you how that comes into play with the customer. Okay, so I'm going to come into my search contacts. I'm going to pull up a particular client. All right. My KC Rocket Company here. I'm going to click into the client record and go to my Proposals tab. And I'm going to generate a new proposal. Now you'll see when I click on New Proposal, I have previously set up templates for this product. So I have my ABC products here, my templates available. I'm going to select my ABC Magazine template and use that. When I create my line item, it brings me to the wizard. Now, regarding how comfortable you are with the system, you can either generate through the wizard or skip the wizard. I'm going to generate through the wizard today. I'm going to do a print order first, and here's my ABC Magazine. I'm going to double click on it. It then brings you to any rate cards that are available. So both of my pricing rate cards are in here now. You would just double click on the one that you're going to select. Okay, so now I have my specific line item information, and this is based on that rate card that we just set up. So all the sizes that we selected are here, available, in the order that we drug them over. So you can make your selections. As you make your selections, of course, your rate's going to change based on that rates that you entered in that rate card. Okay, your color, your frequency, you have your premium position selection here. It's going to change the price as well. Any notes that you want to enter here. Again, I'm just going to step through this quickly. Your premium, your custom fields, your sales rep. And then here are your issues based on that schedule that you set up starting October going through September 2014. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the next two issues. Now I just generated that print line item. For that product, that schedule, that rate card. Okay. Now, I can view my proposal, or I can say, you know what, I want to add some web orders. I want to add some ABC online to this same document. I can come down to add my line item, select digital order. There's my ABC online, double click on my rate card. There's only one available. Again, walk through your selection. Now this particular order has a drop down for whether it's a banner or a leaderboard. You can put your start and end date here. We're starting on the 8th, going to the 24th. Step through the process again. It skips over, obviously, the issue option, because we did not link this to a particular issue. Okay, so now we have our online selection and our print selection here. So now, when I view my document, and again, this is based on making sure that you're setting up your proposal template or your document accurately to pull in the information that you need to see here. We have our print product, our ABC magazine is the publication, the issue, the year, that premium position is coming, the size, and our pricing. Now I'll set this up to subtotal the print, and then we have our digital option here as well, and then the grand total on the bottom. Okay, so very easily and quickly we just set up a product, a schedule, your pricing, and then added them to a proposal. Okay. I also want to generate here now a new proposal for the trade show event. So let's go ahead and select our template that says our ABC event. Going through the same process, going to the product setup wizard. We did set it up as a print item. So there's our trade show product. There's our trade show rate card pricing. We have our options here, our different sizes. The pricing comes up. And continue on. And again, your individual sites may have specific custom fields or additional information that you want or need to capture. Here we have which particular event are they purchasing a trade show booth for. Complete, and then just to quickly review that actual document here in the line items, and obviously this has some additional information in the header regarding the trade show event. If you need assistance, help setting up your template, you can contact your software consultant, or the help site has some good videos in there as well. So we have our issue or the show itself, the year, the booth size, how many booths are they ordering, and then your net there. Okay. So now we have our print and digital line items on our proposal, as well as a separate proposal for our trade show. Now you could have actually added the trade show if it's, if it's all the same clients. You can add that to your one proposal that has your print and digital, or you can do a separate one if you have different information to share. Okay. From here, I'm going to go back to our website setup and talk about a couple of other things here under the Ad Sales Management product information. You'll notice that we have an option called Business Units here. Okay. Now, a business unit can be defined and set up to link products together for reporting purposes. Now, some people use these business units to link a particular product line, to separate print and digital, for different markets, zones, things like that. Now, for today, as an example, I'm going to create a new business unit for our ABC line. Because remember, you can set up different products for sponsorships or events, conferences, newsletters, email blasts, any different thing that you're going to sell to your clients. You can set up a product. Okay, and then you can create your business unit here. I'm going to just call it my ABC unit. You can put any notes or details here defining what does this business unit contain. And then you have available to you all your different products that have been set up and created. You just use your check mark to say, okay, this business unit is for my ABC products, so I'm going to go through the list and select everything that's included in my ABC business unit. And again, it can be used for specific zones, markets that you want to contain all the different products together. So now I've included my 3 ABC products and I save changes. Now I have a business unit called ABC Business Unit. When we look at the reports, I'm going to show you how this comes into play when viewing a report. Okay, I'm going to click my Done on the bottom. While we're here in the website setup, I do want to point out one other thing under our Ad Sales Management. You do have an ability here to close an issue, okay? And wanted to talk a little bit about how to close an issue, why to close an issue, and basically when to close your issue. You do have the ability to come in here and then pull up by product and issue your different products. It defaults to everything that's open. You can look at the closed items as well. You can pull it up by a date range and so on. But I'm going to go into my ABC magazine and it lists out all the issues individually. Okay, so you would just check off the one or ones that you'd need to close, and then at the bottom you have a close button. Now the reason you'd want to close these issues is if you've started and ended the issue period of time, you've already posted all the payments, you don't want anything additional in that issue, it's going to be important to come here and close it so that nobody else can make changes to the items there. Anyone with administrative access has this function, and if you did need to go back and edit something or add something or post a payment, you can always come in here, reopen that, post your payment, and then have a little bit more control over that specific issue information. Open it up, make your changes, come back in here and close it. That way too, if it is after the fact and someone needs some information, they have to contact someone in administration, say, the issue's closed, but I need to make this one change. Can you go in and open it for me? And this is where you would manage that closing of an issue. Okay. Let's go ahead and close that. Okay, now that we've created our product, our schedule, our rate card pricing, we've generated a couple of proposals there. We're going to go back into our contact information in the proposals tab here, and we're going to generate these into contracts so that we can look at them in the report. Okay, so I'm going to go into my individual proposal, go to my proposal menu, and convert it to a contract. I want to show you the sales reports, the sales by product specifically. In order to see the product itself with the sales on it, it does need to be in the contract form and not a proposal form. So I'm going to generate these as contracts. And then we're going to go ahead and go up to reports in our management report suite. And as you'll know, there's several reports here. Any one of these you can pull up by product, but I specifically want to look today at the sales by product report. I'm going to reset this search criteria so that it's default. And I'm going to pull up my ABC magazine. This is with an issue, so I'm going to click the with issues hyperlink. Now, it's important here, based on what you want to look at, to use these hyperlinks. After you select your product, make sure you're going to say, is this with issues, without issues, or do I want to look at both, anything that's on an issue base and maybe not on an issue base? Okay. When I click this, it gives me the option under the issue dropdown to select my year and my issues. Over to the right, we have some additional drop-downs that you're available to filter your report further. Here is where our business unit comes into play as well. And I'm going to generate the report once, not using the business units, but then we'll go through that and look at that together as well. So I am pulling up one particular issue, so this group by option really doesn't apply. If I was looking at a whole year's issue, I can say, how do I want to view it? By quarter, by month, by week, etc. This particular one is just by the issue itself. I have what do I want to see if I, if I include barter, if I have barter payments and I want to see that in my report, or if we don't use that, we can just select your cash only. This report does have the option to compare with the previous year. So it's going to show me my results in comparison to last year's results. Okay, so now when I've made my selections and click search, you'll see my report results are going to list my product going down the left-hand axis. Now I've just selected one particular product. On the top it shows you your search criteria, that one issue month that I selected, and then the previous year, and obviously because I just set this up, we don't have any previous year sales, and then your totals and the percent of change. Now to drill into the details of what information was generated, what sales information for this product, you can click on the hyperlink and get that detailed information. What orders are there or were there? You can export this or print it out to see that detail on your report here. When I generate a new search, it does save the previous information in your search criteria. Even if you log out and log back in, it saves your last search result. Now you can either just edit it or you can reset it by using the reset button here. So just as an example, if I did say all products, both with and without an issue, and then I use my business unit drop-down, it's going to look in the system and generate anything that has any one of those products sales. For the ABC Print, the ABC Online, and the ABC Event, it's going to include in this report result. And how do I want to group that? By month. I want to put a date range here, so I'm going to say for this year. And I want to show it by month. Compare with previous year. Again, this one is going to show any product that we have here. Obviously, these months we didn't have any sales. If you scroll over, you'll reach the month where you did have your sales. Okay, so it shows you all from start to finish. In your options here, you can either export or print this. Okay, reset that. I'm going to go ahead and pull up our trade show just to show that as well. Oops, sorry. And that was the issue base for the 2013 Halloween show issue. Okay. Okay, so we did several different products. We did our print magazine on a monthly schedule. We did our ABC Online, not on a schedule, on a date range, a start and end date. And then we did our ABC annual trade show event that was on an annual schedule where you can go back and add your additional shows as they come up. We reviewed creating your publication schedules, linking them to your products, your rate card setup and definition, making sure all of that is linked and set as default, the ability to generate and create your business units that you can use in your proposals, how to close an issue in the management drop-down, your individual sales by product report, under reports in our management suite. We can also generate our products as well using any of these other management reports that we have available to you. The sales run sheet here, you can reset this. Again, this is a very powerful report by product. This one you can pull by a particular rate card. So you have your rate cards here if you wanted to see specifics based on the rate card itself. So maybe I want to see my ABC Print on the issue base, my 2013 October. For that one, again, you have your further selections here. Business unit is here. You can, specify for this rate card by individual section. Maybe I just want to see my classified information. You can mark specific items when they were added here. And then how many do I want to show on a page? So now we have our run sheet. Sorry about that. What issue did I select? Okay, so we have our run sheet with our specific information based on the orders that we just set up and added in the system. Now what's good about this run sheet here is that you have the ability to select which columns do I want to see here. And this is by user. So you can come in here and, as a manager, say, what do I want to see specifically on a sales run sheet? Maybe I do need to see the rep, whereas the rep may not need to see that. So in their version, they can uncheck that and say, the rep's only going to pull their sales run sheet for themselves, so they don't need to see that rep column. But maybe as a manager, you do. Okay, so you have a column selector here where you can either check or uncheck what you want to view in your report. And once you've done that, under the options, you have the ability to save that column setup. This particular report can be exported. You can view the totals here, a summary glance of your totals based on the report criteria that you entered. So your total sales, the page count is listed here, your net and gross, if there was any agency discount, you'd see the difference there. And then further on this summary display, you have your totals by product, so broken down by all your products and by your rate cards here. Okay. So basically, we've gone through the product setup from start to finish. I know we're ending a little bit early. Hopefully, if you've had any questions, you entered them into the question window. We will leave that open for probably another 5 to 7 minutes, allow you to type in any specific questions that you have. Remember to use your help site to either schedule time with your consultant or to view the previously recorded webinar. If you did think this was helpful or can be helpful to anyone else within your organization, we should have the recording of it up within probably 24 to 48 hours. It should be available for you there. Again, we appreciate your participation and look forward to hosting our next webinar. The next webinar we have is probably going to cover a lot of our update items that are going to be in our next release. So that should be very exciting, and you should see marketing information on that very soon in your inbox or via email or a pop-up on your site. Okay? So I hope everyone has a great afternoon, and we'll be talking to you soon.